Hi there everyone, welcome to Fingers, Thumbs and Fits, and today we are looking at issue 4 of Warhammer Age of Sigmar Spearhead magazine. Now we have no minis in this issue, or with this issue shall we say. Do have a couple of paints and a paintbrush, so let's take a look. I had a bit of issues getting into that one. Right, so let's get the accompaniments out of the way first. We've got two paints that come with this issue. We have the base paint Abaddon Black, and we have the metallic Retributor Armour, which are both going to be very, very handy for if you're painting Stormcast Eternals in the traditional sense. I have both of these paints already, however, you know what, I'm never turning down more paints, so that's not a bad thing. Now we also have a Citadel starter brush, which, as I said, that's actually quite stiff. That would be quite good as a sort of point brush. As I said in the last video, loads of people have been complaining about this. It is what it says on the tin. It's a starter brush. It's not going to be amazingly brilliant, but for what it is, I mean, I've had a couple in the past. For what it is, I think they're all right. You know, I just tend to use them for, I've got a couple that I use in my normal painting habits, and I just use them just for slapping paint on. I don't use them for anything spectacular. You know, if I'm putting a base coat down on something, I'll use a starter brush to do so or something, you know. So just remember, it is a starter brush. It's not like a proper pro fine detail brush or anything. Anyways, back to the magazine. Issue 4 itself. Let's see what's going on here. We have ourselves here I don't know what he is. Is he a Lord Celestin? It's possible. Fighting some clan rats. There's our Lord Vermintide from issue 1, which I have painted already. I'll put a link in the video. Battle record. Okay, so this is kind of like a, you know, you can name it. Add a tick to this moment of glory when your Lord Vermintide stays an enemy model with the hero keyword. Ah, so this is also, you know, build, paint, play. So this is kind of like a step-by-step as to, you know, how to use your models and what you're doing with them. There's the war scroll for the Lord Vermintide. We'll go into these in a bit more detail when we come to do, you know, potential how to play videos and stuff. There's our Liberators, same thing. There's their war scroll with all their stats. Skaven Grey Seer and its stats. The Warlock Engineer and stats. And the Rat Ogres with their stats. So this is all the models that we would have got so far. You know, stats and the battle records and stuff. We've now got, you know, kind of like a how to paint section here, layering, which is, you know, it's nice that they're showing you these techniques. So, you know, undercoating. It kind of got that round the wrong way in a way, I think. You know, they should have done undercoating first and then layering, but anyway. How to paint Stormcast and Skaven. So yes, undercoat, layer, layer, layer. And this is just basically showing that, you know, you've undercoated the models, because they haven't given us any more paints to work with right now. This is how the turns break down for the game. You know, you start a turn, hero phase, movement phase, shooting phase, charge phase, combat phase, end of turn. Combat, so melee combat. We've got ourselves a mission here. Turns, breakdown and everything. And again, victory should each faction prevail. And a look forward to the next issue, which I'm very much looking forward to. So yeah, there we go. That was issue 4. This is kind of like there wasn't an awful lot of substance to this one. If you're completely brand new to this, then there are some useful tips in here, the painting tips, and it's nice to sort of give some of your units a bit of personality. They seem a bit more personal to you, I think, if you're able to name them, give them a bit of a backstory, you know, that sort of thing. When you start having battles with them and they prevail, or they rout an enemy at the last moment or something, and you're able to tell this story to other people, and you can kind of like add that to their personality. I mean, it does make them a bit more personal. So that's a nice little touch. But yeah, this one, I have to say, it's a little bit of a, I don't know, a bit of a filler issue, I think. But as I say, I'm not going to turn down any paints. I get through a lot of black, so I'm not going to turn down another paint of that. Retributor Armour is always quite nice, because you can, it's not just armour that you can paint with this, you know, even metallics, and you know, you can do some highlighting with other stuff, and use it as a base to mix in and put a wash over and what have you. So yeah, there we go. Issue 4. So please do join me next time, where we'll be looking at issue 5, which I touched on very briefly just now, which has an exclusive mini included. Exciting stuff. So yes, join me for that one to find out what that is, and yeah, until then, keep on adventuring, and I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.